What up? Liz Wilcox here, the host of Sales Email Summit. Before we get into this interview, I just want to let you know that this summit is sponsored by List Gadget. ListGadget.com is how you can turn every email into a growth machine. We've got embeddable polls, leaderboards, referral programs, and more. And I know this sounds crazy, but you can do it in about 30-second startup time. Now, right now, we are offering $10 off the starter plan to make it just $9 a month. So if you're into adding email polls, reactions, subscriber leaderboards, and more to your email newsletter, head on over to listgadget.com. All right, let's get into this episode. April, what is the most lucrative or most interesting sales email you have sent out in the last 6 to 12 months? We're dying to know.
Hi, my name is April Reed. I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I love helping course creators, coaches, and aspiring entrepreneurs turn what they know into profitable digital offers using mini webinars and smart marketing strategies. And I've been in the online business space since 2015, and I'm all about making sales systems simple and sustainable. Now, outside of business, I am a wife and a proud mom of four. Yeah, four kiddos. So I know firsthand what it's like to juggle big dreams with a busy home lifestyle, which is part of the reasons why I love those set it and forget it quick marketing strategies that helps me juggle all the chaos. And I'm not trying to date this interview, but I'm just going to say I cannot wait until school starts tomorrow and summer vacation is officially over, because maybe then I'll get my sanity back. Okay, I'm sorry. Back to the topic at hand. So when I was going through my archives, I was trying to figure out what was one of the most interesting sales emails I ever sent. And I came across one that it was for a flash sale of my Winning with Mini webinars course that honestly blew me away. Not necessarily because of the sales that I made, but because it had a 52% open rate. Okay, now listen. Normally, when I hit over 50% open rates, it's usually because I'm sending it to a tiny segment of my leads. These are the people that are, clicking the link trigger, and then I'm sending the last call, price goes up, last 2 hours, whatever, to them. Then yeah, I usually get a pretty good open rate because I'm sending out to a tiny, tiny, tiny list. But this flash sale, I sent it out into my entire email list, and it was a sales email. Now, I shared, so you're going to have the opportunity to see the email that I sent exactly. That is the second email in this flash sale, whatever you want to call it, sequence that I sent. I didn't send the first one, which also had over 50% open rate, because I don't know what I did with that email. I screwed it up. It had HTML code that I must have messed up some kind of a way. So 75% of the whole body of the email, which is gobbledygook. And I don't know, it looked like my cat. Well, I don't have a cat anymore, but my dog had walked all over the keys or something. So I didn't want to send that as an example. I sent the second one, but both of them had pretty high open rates, 52. And for somebody else, 52% open rate might be a Tuesday for them. But for me, that was pretty darn high, which is why I'm putting it on this list. And more surprisingly, at the time, especially being a mom of four, I'm not trying to use that as an excuse, but hashtag facts. I wasn't even emailing my list consistently. I wasn't showing up weekly. And honestly, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I hadn't emailed my list in weeks. Yeah. So when I decided to run this flash sale, I wanted a cash injection, right? But I was kind of debating, do I send it? Do I not send it? Because I felt a little guilty. I didn't want it to be the booty call emailer who only shows up when they want something. It's kind of like, oh, I'm doing my thing. I'm not nurturing this relationship, or maybe it's not a relationship. But then when I'm ready to feel lucky, now here I come showing up. I didn't want to be that person. And the thing that kind of like, I was thinking about that made me go ahead and just send the email, even though I hadn't like talked to my list for a long time. Like I didn't bother to like send an email or two to try to warm them up. I just sent the flash out email because, like I said, I wanted a cash injection. But the thing that kind of made me just go ahead and do it is like it wasn't one sided or manipulation. Like I wasn't trying to get something and make somebody pretend like I cared about them. I knew I had something of value to share, and I wanted to share it out. And I just sent it to my entire list minus affiliates, and I just sent it out. And I figured, those who didn't want to hear about it, within the body of the email, I had the opportunity for them to click a link if they no longer wanted to hear about my promo email. Um, those who didn't want to hear about it, click the link. And those who wanted to hear more, didn't click the link or they bought. And so they got practically all the emails. And so, that just goes to show that send the sales email. You haven't talked to your people in weeks or even months. Just send the sales email. If you know that you have something of value to share, those that need the value, see the value, want the value, will want to know about what you have to offer, and those who do not need it will not. Now, I'm not giving you like permission to like do this on a regular. Like I would not suggest doing this on the regular where you ignore your entire email list and you only email them sales email. But if for some reason you find yourself in that situation and you need to send out the sales email, yeah, go for it. Send a couple to warm them up. But if you can't, just change your mindset there. I think that was like the big thing for me, is just switching my mindset on that sales email. And it was quite successful. Like it was like one of my highest open rates yet. Now, remember when I talked about like I usually get like over 50%, like that last call email. My last call email for uh that flash sale, uh like last 4 hours, this is your last chance or whatever, was 70. Hold on, I'm sorry. It was 79% open rate. 79%. Those are the people that had clicked something to let me know they are interested, but they still haven't bought. 79%. So the whole campaign, like it was quite a success. It was quite a success. So if anything I learned, just, this isn't a best practice. But again, if you find yourself in that type of situation, just send the email list. If you know you have something of value, let it go, let it flow, and see what happens.
I love this, and I am cracking up. Gobbity goop, is that what you said? The first email was. Yeah, we are totally guilty of sending emails that look like crap too. Now, I don't know if you mentioned this. I don't think you did. What was the subject line of that email? And do you think the subject line contributed to that high open rate?
When I compare the subject line of the first email and the second one, I can totally see where the email subject line greatly contributed to the open rate. How to sell more with a 15-minute presentation. And then in parentheses, I had plus $347 off winning with mini webinars, right? Parentheses. So, how to sell more with a 15-minute presentation. I mean, that in itself is kind of like, ooh, what is that? So, I definitely think that the title contributed to the higher open rate. And the second email was a higher open rate than the first.
That's super cool, especially like you said earlier, like these are sales emails. You hadn't emailed in a minute. So obviously people were excited about the flash sale. So let that be a lesson to you listening that, people actually, they love to buy stuff and they would love to buy your stuff if you would just send them emails. So where can people sign up to learn more about you, get your amazing, awesome, fun emails?
Hey, I'm always looking for new besties. So the best way to find me is at aprilreed.com/join. That way you can get my business and marketing inspired emails. And going to aprilreed.com, that's where you're going to find some free resources, courses, and all the ways that you can work with me. I also hang out on TikTok. Like Monday through Friday, I go live on TikTok every single day, spewing out business tips and online income strategies. So I would love all the new besties to connect with me any way that they can by signing up for my newsletter or checking me out on TikTok. And for any of you that is curious about mini webinars, because that's the email that I sent, you can check that out at aprilreed.com/mini webinar topic. And I'm sure that the spelling of my name, because I spell it a little differently, will be in the show notes, and you can just click that link.
Yes, of course. You can just click that link in the show notes to sign up for April's emails. And speaking of emails, you already know I want you to get our template pack, the Steal These Sales Emails template pack. You're going to get April's and every other speaker's email in template form. This is a plug and play collection of every single email from the summit, rewritten into simple templates so you can customize in minutes. No decoding, no guesswork, no trying to reverse engineer what April and I were just talking about. Just copy, tweak, send, and make sales just like April and all the other speakers. It's a total steal for $35, which is why it's called Steal These Sales Emails Template Pack, $35. Link in the show notes.